Alright, let's dive into something that's both nostalgic and a bit surreal, James Stewart's final role. Now, when you think of Jimmy Stewart, you probably picture him in classics like It's a Wonderful Life or Vertigo, right? That iconic, or shucks persona that feels like the epitome of old Hollywood charm. But here's the twist, his last role wasn't in some dramatic masterpiece, or a Western epic. Nope. It was in a 90s animated sequel, An American Tale, Fievel Goes West Star. And honestly, the more you think about it, the more it feels like a perfect, quirky bookend to a legendary career. First, let's talk about why this is so fascinating. James Stewart was a Hollywood titan, a guy who worked with Capra, Hitchcock, and Ford. He was the everyman hero, the guy you rooted for in every film. But by the time he voiced Wylie Burp in Fievel Goes West, he was in his 80s, and the industry had shifted dramatically. Animation was booming, thanks to Disney's renaissance and Don Bluth's rise, and An American Tale was part of that wave. So, here's Stewart, this classic movie star, lending his voice to a wise, aging dog sheriff in a kids' movie. It's almost like he was bridging two eras of Hollywood, the golden age and the modern animation boom. What makes this really interesting is the character itself. Wylie Burp is a nod to Stewart's earlier role as Wyatt Earp in Cheyenne Autumn, but he's also this washed-up hero, a mentor figure who's seen better days. It's a role that feels both nostalgic and self-aware. Stewart's voice brings this gravitas to Wylie, but there's also a sense of humor and warmth that's unmistakably him. Personally, I think it's a brilliant choice. It's like the character is a reflection of Stewart's own legacy, a hero stepping into the sunset, but still leaving a mark. Now, let's talk about An American Tale for a second. The original film was massive in the 80s. I mean, it made $84 million on a $9 million budget, which was huge back then. But here's the thing, nobody really talks about it anymore. It's like this forgotten gem, overshadowed by Disney's Lion King or Aladdin. And the sequel, Fievel Goes West, didn't quite reach those heights. It made money, but it wasn't a cultural phenomenon. Still, it's a gorgeous film, with this surreal, dusty Western vibe that's unlike anything else in animation at the time. What many people don't realize is that it's a pretty bold story for a kids' movie. It's about immigrants struggling to find their place, facing prejudice, and fighting for survival. It's got depth, even if it's wrapped in a cute mouse adventure. One thing that immediately stands out is how Stewart's role fits into the broader narrative. Wylie Burp isn't just a random character, he's Fievel's hero, the guy who helps him become a sheriff at the end. It's a passing of the torch moment, and it's beautifully done. If you take a step back and think about it, it's almost like Stewart was symbolically handing off his legacy to the next generation. This raises a deeper question. Do we see these kinds of moments often in Hollywood? Not really. It's a rare, almost poetic way to end a career. A detail I find fascinating is how Fievel Goes West connects to Stewart's earlier work. He was known for playing straightforward, moral heroes, and Wylie Burp is no exception. Even as a voice role, Stewart brings that same sense of integrity and charm. But there's also a hint of weariness, a sense that Wylie's seen too much of the world. It's a nuanced performance, and it's a shame more people don't talk about it. What this really suggests is that Stewart was still capable of bringing depth to a character, even in a kids' movie. Finally, let's talk about the legacy of this film. Fievel Goes West isn't on any streaming platforms, which is a bummer. It's like this hidden treasure that's hard to find. But if you do track it down, it's worth watching just to hear Stewart's voice one last time. It's a reminder of how versatile he was as an actor. He could go from Vertigo to voicing a dog sheriff, and still be completely convincing. In my opinion, that's the mark of a true legend. So, here's my closing thought. James Stewart's final role might not be his most famous, but it's one of his most meaningful. It's a bridge between the Hollywood he defined and the one that came after. It's a reminder that even the greatest careers can end with a surprise, A twist that leaves you smiling. And honestly, isn't that the best way to go out? Leaving people with a sense of wonder and a touch of nostalgia. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Would you track down Fievel Goes West just to hear Stewart's voice one last time?